Welcome to the first video edition of our annual report for the St J's Group. It's great to have you with us. If you happen to be new or visiting us for the very first time, can I extend a special warm welcome to you. Just before Easter every year, we take an opportunity at our annual parochial church meeting to look backwards and review what has been happening across the St J's Group. Normally we do this in the form of written reports, but this year we thought we would do things differently and produce a short video documentary instead. As we entered our first national lockdown a year ago, I spoke about us entering into a new normal and compared our situation to that of the Israelites moving from one side of the Red Sea to the other. They'd left the familiarity of Egypt and they were moving into a new normal in the desert. And I guess like them, we didn't expect to be in the desert for very long. And yet here we are a year later, and we're only now beginning to see a way out of this pandemic, courtesy of a national vaccine rollout. Over the last year, all of our ministries have had to adapt to the pandemic, and everything that we've done has had to be done in a way that prevents the spread of the virus. This has vastly increased the workload for each of the 16 members of our ministry support team. I continue to be amazed at how they've coped with all that's been thrown at them over the last year, including for some how they've graciously accepted being put on furlough in this latest lockdown. It's also been a great delight to welcome Shaula Riley, who joins our ministry support team as our new curate. Hopefully a good number of you have now met her over Zoom, and I know that she's looking forward to journeying with the St J's Group over the next 3 years. For a large part of the year, we've not been able to access our church buildings and come together to worship on a Sunday. The Sunday supplement has therefore become a familiar part of our new normal. It was first aired on the 29th of March 2020. It was never designed to be a Sunday service replacement, but always wanted to draw our 4 church families together at 10:30 every Sunday through teaching, testimony, worship and prayer. Using Paul's prayer for the Colossians, we spent the whole of 2020 carefully considering our group vision statement, which is to reveal God's hidden treasure in us all. We were privileged to have 14 different members of the various church families leading our time of teaching each week. And it was also a delight to have 2 former church members, Tina Trevitt and Sally Taylor, sharing their thoughts with us on the Sunday supplement. Singing together in worship to God has unfortunately been one of the major casualties of the pandemic. Our gifted team of singers and musicians in Peasdown have, however, ably led us in this strange new normal. Rob started us off by providing a daily song for us all to sing along to, posted to our YouTube channel. Well, 80 days later, he was still going strong. We've been spoiled by the variety that our worship team have brought us week by week on the Sunday supplement. From the Downing family brass ensemble, to the duos of David and Elaine and Howell and Claire, and to the individuals of Rob, Jerry, Sarah and Mary. At Wellow, it's been a delight to have Clover and others sing our shortened hymns with us while the rest of us concentrate on the words. As a result of the pandemic, various ministries of the church have had to adapt to their own new normals. Soul Kids has had to move online, and instead of attending church on a Sunday, our children have been able to watch a fun-filled weekly programme produced by Rob.
But what is most important is not what happens to us, but how we respond to it. Will we let fear and worry overwhelm us? Will we freak out? Or will we remember that God is faithful and He always takes care of us, even when I'm in trouble? Here's Kathy with some more interesting thoughts.
And today we're learning that when we need help, we can call on God. Did you hear that? I said we can call on God. Wait, if you're going to call God, you need His phone number. Have you got God's phone number?
Even the annual Summer Holiday Club had to move online. Rob pooled resources with a number of other Anglican churches to produce 6 episodes of the Unlikely Heroes Holiday Club.
I thought it'd be good to show you what we've been getting up to as we've been releasing our weekly video every week throughout the 6-week summer holidays. So let's take a look at what me plus a lot of other children's workers, including Sarah Carney from St. John's and myself, have been getting up to.
Hello!
Be an unlikely hero, show love in all you do. If you feel that you're worth 0, God says that's just not true. Jesus loves you.
Reports of another battle being fought between the Israelites and the Philistines.
Wow.
Over to our reporter on the scene.
Little ones and the After School Club have also had to get used to their own new normals too. Using Facebook, Sarah Carney and Gilly Barton have managed to keep in contact with the 15 children who were regularly attending the After School Club. And separately, Sarah and Charlotte Webb have also, via Facebook, been keeping in contact with the parents and carers attending little ones.
Lockdown put a complete stop to our groups, so we turned to our Facebook page, and our Facebook page is quite well established already. So onto there each week we chose to put hello song and a story, and then a craft relating to the story, and then also an encouragement, especially for the parents. And then our after school club, we also then sent each child an Easter egg and a special little Easter activity pack that we'd already prepared. So that was just a case of dropping them all round. And then again, we've turned to our Facebook page, and onto there each week we're putting different crafts for them to do. And we've had a few people send things back to us, which is really lovely.
When lockdown restrictions were lifted, it was great to see the After School Club up and running again. It was also encouraging to see the church hall fully booked week by week for little ones, and to see the success of the Lost Sheep Trail in late October. Place of Peace Counselling has, like our other ministries, had to adapt to its own new normal. With Ben at home unable to work because of the restrictions, Helen was able to continue with this vital ministry, albeit on Zoom whilst juggling parenting and homeschooling.
You may or may not know that I work for the church as a counsellor. I run a small Christian counselling practice called Place of Peace. As it has been for all of us, 2020 was very different. In March 2020, I moved all of my counselling from face-to-face to online, using video chat or normal phone calls. I'm still doing the same, and there's no idea of when face-to-face counselling might resume. What I've noticed about working through the pandemic is that there's a theme of grief and loss.
Alpha 2 has not been immune from the pandemic and has had to move online. Peter, Heather, Derek and Sue hosted a successful Zoom Alpha in the autumn of 2020, with Jerry ably looking after logistics.
The Alpha course that's just finished, how long was your Alpha evenings?
They started at 8 o'clock and we finished, I think, just about every week by 9:15, so it's not a heavy time commitment at all.
And the Alpha material, was that good?
Yep, we used all of the Alpha videos. They're very professionally done, they're an easy watch, amusing and serious at the same time.
As the pandemic has progressed and our ability to socialise with each other has obviously been curtailed, the function of our life groups has therefore become more and more important. They've been places where we can regularly catch up and share with one another, albeit via Zoom or in smaller socially distanced groups. They have also been places where we can relax and have some fun too. Some ministries have thrived in lockdown, one of them being the weekly prayer meeting and the other being the weekly ministry support team meeting. Both have been places where people can come together on Zoom to pray, worship God, hear from His Word and have fellowship. The pastoral ministry of the church has continued, albeit on Zoom. I continue to recognise it as an immense privilege to journey alongside on a regular basis a growing number of the church family as they experience both the ups and downs of life. The second national lockdown declared for November meant that even Remembrance Sunday had to move online this year. It was great to see in Peasdown the uniform brigades fully involved, as well as all the key players from the local community.
Dear God, we pray to remember all the soldiers all over the world who died for their country in wars, so that we can live our lives today.
Christmas activities also had to adapt, with spaces having to be booked at all services. In Wellow, 2 carol services and 2 nativity services were run in order to cope with demand. Peasdown successfully put its own carol service online and managed to produce 25 engaging short videos as part of an Advent social media calendar. Unfortunately, the annual visit to sing carols at the Red Post pub was just one of a number of Christmas activities that have had to be postponed to 2021. Fortunately, we were able to run our Mission Sunday on October the 4th, and one of the benefits of the Sunday supplement has been the ability to draw closer and to learn more about our mission partners. At regular intervals, we've heard from SAT7, from Tutela Africa, from Flame International, and finally, from the Pattern Church.
SAT7 is a Christian media network that uses uncensored satellite television to broadcast across the Middle East and North Africa, and is also available globally online. Our purpose is to share the Christian message and to support and empower the local church in its life, work, and witness for Christ.
A quick message to our friends, our partners, our loved ones in the UK and other parts of the world to let you know that we are well. The Wakely family are all in good shape. Our Tutela project is doing good, and we're surviving in these very strange times that have come upon us all.
Hello my friends in Peasdown St John, what a joy to greet you at the end of lockdown from COVID-19. I'm Jan Ransom from Flame International. It's a couple of years since I've been with you, but I'm delighted to speak to you. We have been through quite a tough time in Flame International. We've lost a number of staff. I believe the Lord has been shaking us. I believe we've been pruned, but we believe that when you're pruned, the fruit will be born for the kingdom of God.
Hey everyone, my name's Joel. I'm the senior leader of Pattern Church here in Swindon. We're a new church. We've been going for about a year and a half now. Our vision is inviting people into family to serve Swindon. So Swindon's a big old town, there's 200,000 people there who don't know Jesus, who aren't part of the church. And our heart is to be a church family who invite those people in. That's our real passion. We're dreaming of 1,000 baptisms, we're dreaming of an army of young people running after Jesus. We're dreaming of being a church who plants churches, who plant churches. We're looking to reach out to some of the social issues in our town. We're dreaming of playing our part in seeing Swindon come alive. And you guys have been so kind and supported us in that. We really appreciate your partnership.
Closer to home, the Soma Valley Food Bank, Movement and the Hive have all in their own different ways had to adapt to their own new normals. The biggest challenge for the food bank has been the generosity of others, from the government providing free school meals in the school holidays, to local councils providing food parcels, and to the numerous pop-up food banks, all of which have sought to help the most vulnerable during the pandemic. The Soma Valley Food Bank thus enters 2021 with good supplies of food and considerable financial reserves. These hopefully will position it well to deal with the post-pandemic environment, when the withdrawal of the furlough scheme, the reductions in the top-ups to universal credit, and many other programs that have been designed to help those struggling most are no longer there. Movement 2 has successfully gone online. Instead of encouraging young people to gather in various locations across the diocese, it has successfully put together a fortnightly online gathering where young people can still engage in vibrant worship and teaching, but with each other via an online chat box. Movement has also been developing via social media platforms a Psalm of the Week, a Question for the Week, and Prayerful Friday. Over Christmas, it was great to see Movement share its first home-produced worship song. The biggest struggle for the Hive has been when to open. Every time preparations were made and dates set, a new national lockdown would come along to delay progress. Bath and North East Somerset Council have now signed a 6-month agreement whereby the Hive will be managed by the committee chaired by Joy Fraser. This hopefully will be a win-win situation for both parties. The council will no longer need to worry about the day-to-day running of the Hive, and St John's will not take on the full financial burden of the Hive until post the pandemic. This also means that the transitional refurbishment work of what was formerly the Peasdown Youth Hub can now happen over an extended period of time. Do spare a thought for Chris Scorer, who was appointed just before the first national lockdown to oversee open access youth work across Peasdown. He was then joined by Meg Tucker, who is a student on placement from South West Youth Ministries. Between them, they've begun the joy of establishing connections with young people in Peasdown, but have not been able to run open access youth work to date out of the Hive. Meeting each other for a quick catch-up has not been easy over the last year. It has therefore been wonderful to hear testimony from different members of the 4 church families on the Sunday supplement week by week.
It was George who was first unwell. He, the last week of term before the schools closed early, he had a couple of friends that were exhibiting symptoms of a high temperature and a bad cough. And so we kept a close eye on him. It was a couple of days later that he woke up feeling unwell with a cold, and I really did think it was just a cold. He did say he felt very weird and strange, and then lost his sense of smell and taste. And that was then that I realised that he probably did have the coronavirus, and I followed soon after abruptly with a lot of symptoms, including a high temperature, nausea, vomiting, a thumping headache, aches and pains, and extreme exhaustion. I was quite unwell.
2 months, I think it is now.
Yeah,
it's gone really fast. We had a really fun day, so that was on Zoom, and Richard and Janice led us, and my sisters and Jamie's best male witnesses.
Yeah.
I had a really fun time. So we were sitting on the bench that Jamie grew up in his house as a pew, and the table in front of us was made by Jamie's dad. We used a service book that my dad gave my late mum for an anniversary present. So it's really special, it was really lovely. And lots of good wishes and messages from everybody, and that was amazing. So I've had lots of support. And lots from
champagne from the neighbours as well, which was lovely.
Yeah.
So.
From my St John's and James St John's, both were really huge support, so thank you all.
When the schools closed down a few weeks ago, along with many other children in the country, our children painted rainbows to put in our window to spread the message of hope in our nation, which is facing such a tough time. And we quickly realised that there were no other rainbows in our little part of our street, because we just have very elderly neighbours who are retired, some of them are very frail, and most of them are self-isolating. And so we decided we were on a roll with rainbow making, and so we just made a whole bunch of extras to give to them. And I used the opportunity to get my eldest to practice his handwriting, and he very wobblyly wrote "Hope Always" across the top of the posters. And we delivered them all, and they were gratefully received, and we've managed to have lots of phone conversations with all of them, because we put telephone numbers inside the envelopes, and managed to do a bit of shopping for some, and it's just really opened up some lovely communication with them in a tough time for most of them, and they're feeling really lonely. And our children regularly ride their bikes in the road up and down, and so they've been waving out the window to them and just enjoying watching the children have fun really in the road, getting their exercise.
So I asked the children to help make some Easter cards, and inside the Easter card we just put a really simple blessing from Numbers 6, which talks about God blessing you and keeping you safe, and his face shining upon you and giving you peace. And we just had that short message as well as an offer if we can pray for anything, and we just posted it round our street, and so far a few people have got back to us and said that they appreciated that. We've had a couple of prayer requests and some chocolate.
This is a very quick story about how Charlotte and I are being blessed by our fantastic Peasdown community. I have to wear scrubs every day to work, and they have to be washed separately at 60 degrees, but the lovely Sarah Carney has made me these scrub bags so I can put the dirty scrubs in at the end of the day, and they don't have to contaminate anything else. And then the wonderful Heather Morgan is washing them in her washing machine and then ironing them and giving them back to me so that I can hang them up in my locker ready for the next day, which is fantastic.
Hi everyone, this is Howland Clan talking to you from our back garden in Ridlington.
Yeah, we've got a story of God's provision for us at this time. Recently we were given a surprise gift of some money to buy a trampoline, which is really lovely at this time of lockdown. The kids are able to get outside, enjoy the sunshine, have some exercise, and just have some fun. So we're really grateful for that.
For those who don't know me, my name's Ben. I normally go to the soul food afternoon service with my family. I'm here at work this morning at St Michael's Dental Surgery down in Twerton, but there's not much to do. There's no patients to see, no one's allowed in to the practice. We're just answering phones at the moment, trying to help people out, trying to offer advice, and yeah, things are pretty crazy at the moment.
What a joy it is to be able to get back to church on Sunday the 26th of July. The church was out of bounds for 17 weeks, the longest I've ever been unable to attend. I've lived in Peasdown, opposite the church, for 36 years, and the longest I have previously missed services was no more than 6 weeks. So 17 weeks seemed very strange. Church for me, now living on my own, is a place to worship God, but also to meet my friends, who also come to praise God for all he does for us.
So Paul has been furloughed from work at the moment. I am working full-time from home, doing online learning for the nursery children. So been uploading lots of different activities, songs and rhymes, etc. for them, which has been quite a challenge. Learning a bit of patience, the old fruit of the spirit, with the technology side of things. But apart from that, it's been very rewarding, and I've really enjoyed having Google Meets, which is another word for Skype, speaking to the parents and children on a regular basis.
Hello, I'm Sarah. I live in Wellow and I normally attend St Julian's Church, and my experience of lockdown has been quite varied because I'm still working. I work as an obstetrician and gynaecologist part-time, so I've been at work 3 days a week and then at home with my family. And at work I've just been bowled over by how amazing everyone have been at pulling together to make the team work under enormous stress.
Hello, lovely Peasdown family. Just to send our greetings from Bridgewater. This is a kind of a hello from the Taylor family. Say, firstly, a huge thank you for praying for us over the last couple of months. I know that many of you have tracked with us through the ups and downs of the last few months.
We left Peasdown 3 years ago to move to Northampton. That's when Danny's family are all from. And during our time there, I had a baby, Her name's Iris. She's 1 year old. And also she's currently sleeping, and so the younger members of our families aren't on the video, but we'll hopefully send some photos so you get to see them.
Over the last year, we've had to learn some new words like Zoom, social distancing and lockdown. It has therefore been interesting to see how some activities of the past have had to adapt to our new pandemic circumstances. Take babysitting, for example. How does that work in lockdown?
Hi, Mum and Dad. Thanks for babysitting. Bye!
What? Hi, Finn. Nice to see you.
Finn, would you like a story about some pigs? Poppy's mum? Yeah, and some hens?
Let's try some music. Here we go, Finn. And here's Shaky. Say hello to Shaky. Oh, Shaky. Oh! Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. If you see a grandmama, don't forget to scream. How about this, Finn? How would you like this? Finn! And Finn, look at what big eyes Grandad's got. Woo!
Dancing, singing. Joe's got some good mood.
Saturday Night Fever.
Dancing in the moonlight.
Dancing with Wolves. How many words are there? One word.
Are you sure it's not Saturday Night Fever? Grease.
This is another arrival for the ladies' coffee morning, but as there were more than 6, one leaves, one comes.
Well, we're having a wonderful time. When one person arrives and there's more than 6, one has to leave.
It's absolutely fabulous to be in Heather's garden and see real people.
I ditto that, and it's dry weather and warm, and biscuits are lovely, and thank you.
It's just lovely to be here with people. We can share our experiences of COVID, and it's just lovely to get back to doing something quite normal.
It's lovely to see everyone. This is a new dimension to the coffee mornings, outdoor coffee mornings. I'm all for them, thanks to Heather.
And it's just lovely to have everybody.
Good morning.
Hello, Abigail. So today, Abigail, what are we going to be making?
A boat.
A boat? And what do we need to make our boat? Can you show us?
Some scissors.
Yeah.
A paper straw. Some Play-Doh.
Yeah.
Some tape for the bunting if you want.
Yeah.
Some string.
And what's that big plastic thing you've got?
Wait, what, this one?
No. That one.
This is what we use to put everything in. Really? For example, this.
So what?
Hi everybody, good morning. Welcome to my lockdown office. I usually go to Slough Borough Council from a Monday to a Thursday and work in the town hall there, and also go out to visit schools. But obviously all of that's finished during this pandemic. Schools are open and have been open all the way through the time, but I'm working from home, and obviously only the essential people go in.
As we come to the end of the review of this strange pandemic year, I'm struck by what a creative bunch of people I have the privilege to journey with. Despite everything that has been thrown at us, we've stoically continued our journey of discipleship. Who would have believed, for example, that such a small group of people could come together to produce the video output they have? When I last looked at our YouTube channel, there were well over 125 videos of exciting, engaging output listed. As I look back over the last year, I'm humbled at how each of you have managed in your own different way to adapt to our new normal. Collectively, we should all feel proud of what we've managed to achieve, and I certainly feel honoured to be part of the St J's Group. Thank you for joining us for this, our special review of the year programme. It's always great to have you with us. I do look forward to seeing many of you in person next Sunday as we hold our APCMs across the St J's Group.